Welcome back to English and Popcorn. Today, we dive into one of the most powerful movies ever made, The Shawshank Redemption. This movie isn't just about prison, it's about hope, friendship, and never giving up no matter how dark life gets. In this video, we'll go through the story step by step in simple English, so you can improve your listening and learn naturally while enjoying this amazing story. So grab your popcorn, relax, and let's start the journey with Andy Dufresne inside Shawshank Prison. Andy Dufresne is a successful banker, quiet and intelligent. But one night, everything changes. His wife is murdered and Andy is accused of the crime. Even though he insists he's innocent, the court finds him guilty. He is sentenced to 2 life sentences and sent to Shawshank Prison, a dark, cold place filled with dangerous men. On his first day, Andy feels completely out of place. He's calm, almost too calm, which makes other prisoners curious about him. Many believe he won't survive long in Shawshank. Andy soon meets Ellis Boyd Red Redding, a wise and respected prisoner who has been inside for many years. Red is known as the man who can get things, anything from cigarettes to tools, for the right price. At first, Red doesn't know what to think about Andy. He seems different from other inmates, quiet, polite, almost fragile. But slowly, Andy begins to earn Red's respect. Life in Shawshank is hard. Andy faces violence, isolation, and constant danger. Some prisoners, known as the Sisters, try to attack him regularly. And Andy must find ways to survive without becoming like them. Despite everything, Andy doesn't lose hope. He spends his free time thinking, observing, and slowly finding ways to make life inside a little better, not just for himself, but for everyone around him. As months pass, Andy begins to adapt to prison life. He stays quiet, but he observes everything around him. He notices which guards are corrupt, which prisoners are dangerous, and which moments can be used to his advantage. One day, while working outside with other inmates, Andy overhears Captain Hadley, one of the toughest guards, complaining about taxes on an inheritance he just received. Andy sees an opportunity. He approaches Hadley carefully, risking his life, and offers to help him legally avoid paying most of the taxes. At first, Hadley is ready to throw Andy off the roof, thinking he's mocking him. But Andy explains calmly and clearly, proving he knows what he's talking about. Hadley listens, and by the end, Andy has earned his trust. This moment changes Andy's life in Shawshank. The guards begin to see him as useful, not just another prisoner. They start giving him protection from the Sisters and better work assignments. Soon, the prison warden himself learns about Andy's skills. He moves Andy from hard labor to the prison library, where Andy begins handling financial paperwork for the guards. He helps them with taxes, savings, and even sets up accounts for them. In the library, Andy begins his biggest project, improving education for the inmates. He writes letters to the state government every week asking for books and funds to expand the library. For years, no one responds, but Andy doesn't stop writing. Slowly, other prisoners begin to respect him. He is not just surviving anymore, he is making a difference. Red notices that Andy still has hope, something rare in prison. Red calls hope a dangerous thing, something that can break a man, but Andy believes hope is what keeps him alive. Even in this dark place, Andy begins to build a new life. He teaches other inmates to read, helps them earn their high school diplomas, and gives them a sense of dignity they had long forgotten. Andy is no longer just a prisoner. He is a man with purpose. As the years pass, Andy's influence inside Shawshank grows. The prison library improves thanks to his constant letters eventually. The state sends books, records, and even money to support education programs. Andy turns the dusty old library into the best prison library in the state. But Andy's skills attract the attention of someone else, Warden Samuel Norton. The warden is a strict, Bible-quoting man who hides his corruption behind religion. He sees Andy not just as a prisoner, but as a tool. One day, Norton calls Andy to his office and offers him a deal. The warden has been running illegal schemes using prison labor to earn money from outside companies. He needs someone smart to handle the finances, create fake records, and keep the money hidden. Andy hesitates, but he knows refusing might put him in danger. He agrees to help, and soon he's laundering money for the warden under a fake identity. Using his banking knowledge, Andy creates a fake person, a man named Randall Steffens, who receives the money and keeps it safe. This gives Andy even more privileges. He is no longer treated like an ordinary inmate. He has access to an office, a record player, and time alone. But Andy uses this power carefully. One day, he plays opera music over the prison loudspeakers, a bold and risky move. The entire prison stops to listen, amazed. For a few minutes, every man feels free, even though they are locked in their cells. Andy is punished with time in solitary confinement, but he says it was worth it. Red is impressed by Andy's courage. He sees that Andy is not just surviving prison, he is changing it. Andy is quietly building something bigger, something that no one can fully understand yet. But as Andy gets deeper into the warden's secret operations, he also becomes trapped. The warden makes it clear, if Andy ever refuses to cooperate, he will destroy the library and hurt Andy's friends. Andy is stuck. He must keep working for the warden, even though it means helping a corrupt system. Even so, Andy continues to believe in hope. He tells Red about a dream he has to live one day on a beach in Zihuatanejo, Mexico, where the water is blue and the world feels far away from Shawshank's walls. Red listens, but warns him not to dream too big. In prison, he says, "Hope can kill a man." Andy disagrees. Hope, he insists, is the one thing they can never take from him. After nearly 2 decades in Shawshank, Andy has become a trusted figure. The library is thriving, prisoners are earning their education certificates, and Andy quietly continues laundering money for the warden. Then a new prisoner arrives, Tommy Williams, a young man with a quick smile and a bit of charm. Tommy is different from many of the others. He is eager to learn and wants to change his life. Andy takes him under his wing, helping him study for his high school diploma. Tommy grows close to both Andy and Red. He admires Andy's intelligence and calm spirit. One evening in the yard, Tommy shares a story from one of his previous prisons about a cellmate who bragged about killing a man and framing the victim's husband for it. Andy freezes when he hears this. The details match the murder of his wife and her lover, the very crime Andy was convicted for. This could be the proof Andy's been waiting for. For the first time in years, Andy feels true hope. He goes to Warden Norton and asks for a chance to present this new evidence. But the warden refuses. Norton has too much to lose. Andy is the key to his money laundering scheme, and if Andy is freed, the warden could be exposed. Instead of helping, Norton has Andy thrown into solitary confinement for 2 months. In the darkness of solitary, Andy begins to break. When he is finally released, Red sees something different in him. Andy is quieter, more distant, but also strangely calm. One evening, Andy speaks to Red in the yard. He talks about Zuataneo again, more seriously than ever before. He tells Red that if he ever gets out, he should go to a specific hayfield near Buxton and look under a large volcanic rock. There, Andy says, will be something waiting for him. Red senses that Andy is planning something, but he can't tell what. Andy even asks Red if he believes in hope, a question Red usually avoids. That night, Andy asks Red for a length of rope. Red worries, fearing Andy might harm himself, but he gives it to him anyway. The next morning, Andy is gone. When the guards do their morning check, Andy's cell is empty. At first, they think he's hiding somewhere inside. The alarm sounds and the entire prison goes on lockdown. Guards search every corner of Shawshank, but Andy has simply vanished. Warden Norton rushes to Andy's cell, furious. When he looks inside, everything seems normal. The Bible is on the table. Andy's clothes are folded neatly, and the poster of Raquel Welch still hangs on the wall. Red and the other prisoners gather, confused. Then Norton throws something at the poster in frustration. The object goes straight through the poster, revealing a hole in the wall behind it. It's then that the truth becomes clear. For nearly 2 decades, Andy has been secretly digging a tunnel through the wall of his cell using a tiny rock hammer, a tool Red had smuggled in for him years ago. Behind the poster lies a tunnel leading into the prison's sewage pipes. Andy had timed everything perfectly. The night before, during a thunderstorm, he escaped through the tunnel, crawled through 500 yards of foul-smelling sewage, and emerged outside the prison walls, finally free. Meanwhile, the warden receives devastating news. The money laundering accounts have been completely emptied. Andy, using the fake identity of Randall Stevens, had transferred all of Norton's dirty money into legitimate accounts in his own name before disappearing. Andy leaves behind a package of documents proving the warden's corruption and crimes, which he mails to a local newspaper. By the next morning, the police arrive to arrest Norton. But before they can, Norton takes his own life rather than face justice. For the prisoners, Andy's escape becomes a legend. Red can hardly believe it. The quiet, calm man he had befriended all those years ago had been planning this moment all along. Andy didn't just escape prison, he outsmarted the entire system. After Andy's escape, life at Shawshank slowly returns to normal, but things will never be the same. Andy's story spreads through the prison like wildfire. For Red, the days feel emptier without his friend. Years pass, and Red finally goes before the parole board once more. This time, he speaks honestly. He admits he can't change the past and no longer cares about their decision. Ironically, this is the moment the board finally grants him parole. Red is released after spending 40 years behind bars. The outside world feels strange and frightening. Everything has changed. Cars, people, even the way the city moves. Red worries he won't make it. But then he remembers Andy's words about the hayfield near Buxton, the volcanic rock, and Zihuatanejo. One day, Red travels to Buxton and searches for the rock Andy described. Underneath it, he finds a small box. Inside is money and a letter from Andy. In the letter, Andy invites Red to join him in Zihuatanejo, Mexico, where he has started a new life. Andy writes about hope, freedom, and the importance of never giving up. For the first time since leaving Shawshank, Red feels truly alive. He decides to break his parole, something unthinkable for him before, and travels south. Red takes a bus and narrates his thoughts as he journeys toward freedom. He speaks about hope, saying, "I hope the Pacific is as blue as it has been in my dreams. I hope I can make it across the border. I hope to see my friend and shake his hand. I hope." The final scene is unforgettable. Red walks across the sunny beach and sees Andy repairing his boat. Andy looks up, smiles, and Red smiles back. After years of darkness, loss, and pain, the two men are finally free, not just from prison, but from fear and despair. The movie ends with them reunited, leaving the audience with a powerful message. No matter how hard life gets, there is always hope. And that's the story of the Shawshank Redemption. From despair to hope, Andy's journey reminds us that patience, courage, and smart thinking can lead to freedom, even when it feels impossible. What do you think about Andy's plan? Would you have been as patient as he was for nearly 20 years? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss the next episode where we break down another amazing story in simple English. Thanks for watching English and Popcorn. See you in the next video.